This is Morning Express on this first day of April 2016, and it's time for us to delve into hot topics. And let me start first of all by introducing our panel this morning. I'll start with my extreme left, where we have our reporter Zinzi Kibiku. Great to have you, Zinzi.
Oh my goodness, it's the first time. I'm so excited.
Karibu sana, great to have you on the panel today. Next to Zinzi we have Solo.
Yes.
Karibu sana.
Asante.
You have had a good week?
Yes, I had a good week.
Okay, sawa. Adhiambo Odera, pop culture specialist. That title I have to always use it, because every time somebody asks me, what did you say? Anyway, pop culture specialist, whatever that is.
We popping this morning, it rained.
Oh yes, it did. And last but not least, Stevens Mwendo, who is an editor with The Pulse and also a writer. Karibu sana.
Thank you, and we got news for you.
Oh, I can see some golden something. I'm sure he's going to be updating us on what that is.
Right.
But Karibu sana. Let me start first of all by asking the same question I asked everybody else out there, and I'll start with you, Adhiambo. What has been hot for you this week?
Aside
What has
from the
stood
weather.
out? Apart, by the way, that has been very hot.
Aside from the weather.
Okay.
Or aside from me, I think
What I have
Aside
learned,
from you.
yeah, I mean,
hot.
Swiftly moving on.
You've been happening, right?
I've been happening, haven't I?
Right.
Yeah, but I think what has really been standing out is the temperatures of politics. As you know, as a build-up of the president always coming up with the things he wants to do, and politics has been in discussion so much this whole week. And,
But isn't that just kawaida with Kenya? I mean, it seems like politics is always, we eat, drink, live politics.
yeah, I think this week everything was being blamed on everyone, and people being investigated, and I just had you before you signed off. There's a whole number of county chiefs who are all, there is nobody being left out, even our very own. So I was just like, oh God, do I need to cover my head and disappear, or how is it? But then, yeah, those have been the highlights from the politics.
I guess politics was hot this week, mainly because it was a build-up to the State of the Nation address.
Yes, yeah.
Solo, what was hot for you?
Well, the political thing definitely is nothing to ignore because of the address for State of the Nation, which the opposition fiercely fought. But the KWS, I don't know if it's a saga, I don't know if it's I don't know what to call it, but
Oh yeah, with Mohawk.
with
Yeah.
Mohawk.
Okay, we'll come to Mohawk in just a bit. Zinzi,
Oh my
I know
goodness.
this is like your terrain. This is your neck of the woods.
You love that phrase. So these guys, it's all politics, which is fantastic, and the Mohawk one, which, oh my goodness, I cannot wait to talk about it. But for me, 2 words: Chris Brown. I don't know if you guys saw he was trending also this week. What happened is that if you go to his Twitter handle, he's there ranting how, if you take photos of yourself and you're like, oh my goodness, I'm so suicidal, it is, I don't know, wanting attention. But the thing is, so people came out and said that that's the thing. People who are suicidal and depressed are actually seeking that attention. So for you to go and bash people, specifically one artist, an R&B pop star, Helani, who did that, she took a photo of herself.
Oh, yeah.
She's a drug addict. She took a photo of herself and she had to do something about going to rehab. Chris Brown took it to his Twitter handle, ranted how, she's just seeking attention. Oh my goodness. How did America and Kenya, because they took part in the conversation, wake up and say, no, Chris Brown, that's wrong. Suicide is an important thing. You just don't go make fun about it. Yes, maybe he was trying to pass, a point, but it's how he said it that was the problem.
Yeah, sometimes it's not what you say, but how you say. But again, that is Chris Brown. So I mean, it's expected.
I actually agree. What?
Yeah.
No, at the end of the day,
Wait, you agreed with Chris Brown?
Yeah, me
Why?
too.
Wait, what? How?
Where did you get
How?
dizzy from?
How? No.
Where did you get out from?
I need you to pause and tell me why you agree with Chris Brown. Because he is putting it as it is.
As it is.
He is not sugarcoating it. It's not making you feel good.
You see,
This is the situation.
Am I dealing? Am I not?
we need to understand 2 things. Depression and suicide are very sensitive issues, especially abroad. So yes, like I said, maybe his message was important, seeking attention the wrong way, but it's how he said it. Go to read his tweets, it's a bit vulgar. He doesn't put it really, I don't know.
People do not
put it in
need
a
to be
different
babied
way.
about this thing. So what do you think?
It looks like Solo also agrees with
Yeah,
Adhiambo.
I don't think people who are suicidal we should die. like show them a lot of sympathy. I know they need that attention. but I mean, we don't need to be.
When you say we don't show them sympathy, what do you mean? Because the fact that they're seeking attention means there's something wrong somewhere.
Yeah, I'd be like, go ahead if you don't want us to deal with it.
To quit. Just quit.
These are the guys when you
I'm
want to
glad
jump
these
off
are
a
not my
building.
best friends.
Just
Let me
quit.
tell you, Michael, these are the guys when you want to jump off a building and you're being suicidal. They'll go.
We go like, yeah, with a selfie going on like, yeah, can we say back
You'll be
there?
like, wacha kuruka kutoka KS, ukienda Times Towers, it's higher. It's a little-
Yeah, and then it
Have a good photo op.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Okay, but anyway, the truth of the matter is most of the times if they say, I don't know how true it is, but they say if somebody tells you I'm going to commit suicide, chances are they won't.
actually, yeah.
If they actually intend to commit suicide, they will just do it. They
They won't tell you.
worry about
They won't
it.
tell you that. It's like at your girlfriend that you, oh, I'm gonna leave you. You know, if you do not do this, in fact, I'm giving you 2 weeks ultimatums. Just damn, leave me.
No, that's different.
Same thing.
Someone
It's
is
the same
someone.
principle.
You want
It's the same
sympathy. You want me to do something. You want attention from me. You want me to deal with
They're
it.
lacking attention and give it to me.
Why do I need to give you attention? You don't need to ask me for attention. No.
Give me attention. I do
All
not.
right. Can we hear what was hot for Stevens? And Stevens,
my
I initially started by saying we should not bully Zinzi, but it looks like you're the one who's being bullied here.
It's gonna be different today. But Mike, I think again for me, apart from all politics and what Zizi has, I think the world of football for Kenya again. What happened over the
with
weekend
Guinea-Bissau.
at the stadium,
Oh, yeah.
and the mess that was there really was one. We were cut. Two, there was showbiz. And that for me was really something that...
What, the football?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, let's start with what's been going on. And of course, one of the things that was trending yesterday throughout the day was SOTN 2016. And this is, of course, because of our members of parliament.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I kept listening to the speaker and he said, honorable members, and I was thinking,
Honorable?
Honorable. What is so honorable about them? So anyway, I don't know your take on this solo, on what happened yesterday. Was it something expected?
Well, definitely, it's not the first time that we've had heckling in Parliament. But what a shame, I guess, from our leaders, because, you know, when the president comes to address the nation about the state of the nation, he's not addressing it as a political thing. He's not giving, it's actually a constitutional
It's
mandate.
a constitutional.
Yeah, so every time I see a member of parliament heckling or whistling or playing all those things, I'm like, I wish they made it in the headlines for proper reasons like development in their areas than doing this, because it's too politicized. You understand? It's quite a shame, because I don't think it adds any value, first of all, because the president has to go on with his speech until he's done with it.
At the end of the day,
whether you heckle, whether you...
But the other side of it is they're trying to make a point. And maybe it is a valid point. We may question, like Zinzi had mentioned, it's not what you say, but how you say it. Maybe in this case, it's not what they're trying to do, but how they did it. Zinzi.
Oh my goodness. One word. That was just horrible. It's like, and then we call them our politicians. No. Maybe politicians. Then we call them our leaders.
Leaders.
And then you
But
tend
you
to
know what?
forget-
News break, they're actually our leaders.
That's
Whether
the
we
sad-
like it or we don't.
That's the sad
That's
thing.
the sad
And you
thing.
see, the younger generation is looking at these guys and how they carry themselves. Oh, so that's how our leaders ought to carry themselves, you know. So even my young person and I want to go into politics, I already have this mindset, that's how I need to act, which is wrong. But at the end of the day, whistling, really, you know, just next time just come in holding papers saying we are striking or something. You know, it's freedom. It's, yeah, you have your freedom.
Or just don't show up. Go to your constituency.
By all means.
Watch it from
By
home.
all means.
They had actually said that they won't come. In fact, I think I watched earlier, Honorable Kaluma had said, you know, I have something else that I'm going to do.
More important business.
More important business. And I was also shocked to now see him in Parliament later on being the mastermind of several things. But having said that, though, you have got to understand that especially those people in CORD right now, they have no stage to act. They're like these actors who at some point have been curtailed, and they have got to find that one outlet in order for them to do something. And this was a good opportunity for them.
But I beg to
act out.
differ, because
They're just acting out.
they have enough platforms to do that. Every Monday, Thursday, we have a platform right here. Immediately after the State of the Nation address, normally you have journalists out there to just find out what was your take on it? So that's another platform. So really, why use that particular avenue, whereas really you're not going to get, we cannot even get the information out
It
there.
becomes the news. Don't you see every headline today? They are the news. There weren't going to be
So
any
that's
news
it.
if they just sat there and sat nicely and Miliodiamo said
But
hi.
what a shame, what a shame. Why make headlines because of some mediocre behavior? I mean, it doesn't add value, it doesn't make a difference. You just heckle and then you is it how you want to be portrayed even in your constituency?
And I feel like if they wanted to have a message passed as the opposition party, if they wanted to be heard and say, no, as the Jubilee government, this is what you're doing wrong, this is what you need to do. I feel if they were responsible, mature enough, even maybe they would have been heard. Even President Uhuru Kenyatta would have taken time and said, okay, let me listen to you guys, instead of coming and blowing whistles.
No, trust me, they wouldn't have been heard, by the way. They wouldn't have been
and also according to the law actually for the State of the Nation address, he is supposed to be listened to in silence and no questions after. So unless they created another
But I
different
don't, I don't think we have an excuse for those guys. I think that was a lot of theatrics. They acted, I would say, what that's like being a hooligan. That's like being in the streets and try to provoke something. For me, the worst of things, I don't think anybody would have done that. There are leaders, there are people we respect, there are people, like she says, everybody looks up to.
Yeah.
I don't think Kenya would be a sane nation if we all said we are against one or two ideologies or the president or the government, and we'd all take to the streets with whistles blowing and saying we're not listening to you. And I think he answered them, and I was so happy about that. I think the second part minute of his speech, he said, you know what? Everybody has a right to speak. You have a right to criticize the government. But as you do that also, give me solutions.
Yeah, don't
I
just
mean, that
criticize.
was really loud.
Yeah, you actually say don't criticize as a sport. It's not a sport. But then again, there is a saying. There is a saying that we deserve the leaders that we have. Are we just sitting here and maybe, sort of saying that they shouldn't have done that? But really, at the end of the day, this is what we want as Kenyans. Because come 2017, I would not be surprised if these are the same leaders who go back.
Well, Mike, one thing stands out. One, the government has performed and the government has not performed. And I think that is what is being raised by the opposition. We have many issues as a nation, and we talk about them here every Friday. And we raise some of them, and NYS and all those corrupt systems and all that. And the question is, the leaders we choose come next year, will they be able to make a change to this nation? Will they be able to say, no, we stand for things that are not that won't take Kenya backwards, because everybody feels, and I think that's the mood of the nation, that we're not progressing, that we are having a lot of talk, a lot of policies that are not being implemented, and I think that's a problem. And as we look towards 2017, the problem again is that everybody who's not your age is thinking, okay, you guys said you want a young leadership kind of government, and we see more coming in. We just talked about some young people, even musicians and stuff coming in. Will the people of Kenya and everybody be able to trust again a very young nation kind of leadership, as opposed to the old one? And I think that's where the game is going to be played come next year.
I think those ones will have vuvuzelas now instead of the
but it's a sad situation, because I mean, if you look at it generally, all our leaders, whether you're in opposition or whether in government, there has been something embarrassing about it. Been claims about corruption in those ones in government, and then there's this mediocrity from the ones in opposition. Remember one thing: it doesn't mean because I'm ugly that makes you pretty. You understand?
I'm just a little uglier than you are. Uglier in a
I'm sure two wrongs don't make a right.
They don't make a right.
Two wrongs
So
don't
I
make
think
a
what
right.
we need to do, as the president said, is bring the solutions to the table. Let us handle them, let us look at them, and then don't just come and complain, and then you have nothing on the table.
Okay, let's do this.
I agree with Stevens. One moment, he talked about, elections is coming around the corner. Everyone is keeping an eye on our politicians, from the rich, the poor, those the educated, like everyone has their eyes, on politicians. So there's one tweet that I read during the course of, during the session, and they say that Jubilee does more of talking and less of action. I feel like that's not only Jubilee in that case, even us as citizens, we say, okay, but these are the kind of leaders we want them to do this and that. But when it comes to taking actions as citizens, because I mean, at the end of the day, we're the ones with the power. When it comes to taking actions and voting for the right leaders, that doesn't apply. So at the end of the day, I feel